Hello everyone, my name is Brad Nelson, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Into the Inklands Championship on Melee. The first thing you're going to want to do is find your organization dashboard, which is most easily navigated to by adding -to to the end of the Melee URL, which will show you your organization's dashboard. You can go up here and click Create a Tournament. The first page, you will select your store's address as well as the game that this tournament will be. And you will add Into the Inklands Championship to the name, and you can add your store or other information if you would like to. Next, you'll select a date for when that tournament is happening. We will go with April 27th at 9 a.m. Next, we have player registration. Now you can have players register through Melee, or if you want them to register only through the store, you can set this to invite only. If you would like to take entry fees through Melee, you can do so only after linking a PayPal account to your organization, which you can do by going to your organization dashboard, clicking Edit Organization in the top left, and coming down here and connecting a PayPal account. For the purposes of today, we'll just be going with open registration and free. Lastly, the most important step is to make sure that you have selected a player cap if one is necessary. We'll go with 32 players. Now, the next step in creating a tournament is phases. A phases can be found on the tournament controller, which is the main hub that you will be using when operating your tournament, from player registration to operations of the event. Phase lets Melee know how to run the tournament. So we will go with Play Format Core. We'll do Swiss for the first round, and we'll select 5 rounds of Swiss play. Now, if less or more players come that would need this to change to, let's say, 4 or 6, you can always come in and edit a phase. Lastly, we'll need a top 8 phase, which is classified under playoffs. A playoff phase will pair your top 8 players 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6. Other matching methods will not do that. So be sure to use playoffs whenever your tournament has a top 8. Now that we have our phases and we have submitted all the other information, we are ready to publish our tournament. That can be done up in the tournament actions dropdown by publishing a tournament. As you can see, our tournament is now published and also is in your organization's hub. This page will display all published tournaments for your organization, which makes it a great place to send your players to, or throw a QR code up in your store so players can always come and see if there's any Lorcana events happening. Now, a tournament needs players, so players can come to the page and register themselves, or you can manually enroll them by going to the Players tab and enrolling a player. I'm going to add myself to this tournament by adding my email in the bottom left-hand corner because I am an existing Melee user, moving my details over and enrolling myself. Now, if a player does not have a Melee account, you can create one while you are enrolling them. Over on the right side, you can enter their email, their first and last name, create account and enroll. They will receive emails on finalizing their account, which will become important here as we step through a few more things. Now, I will need a lot more players to play in this tournament. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the edit tournament details page and put this tournament into test mode. Now, this should only be used when you are wanting to learn more about the features of Melee and run a test tournament, and not ever clicked if this tournament is intended for live play. So we're going to update the tournament, go back to the controller, and in the players tab, if we go to player action, we have a new feature. We get to enroll test players. Now, a test tournament is not public, so we are going to come back here and take this out of testing mode for the purposes of showing you the player perspective. We're going to start the tournament because we are ready for play, and we're going to match the first round. Match players. Now, pairings have went out. Once pairings go out, for all players that have finalized their account creation, you can direct them to go to melee.gg/players. This will automatically take them to their player portal for the tournament that they're either currently in or upcoming. And this will display their table number, who they're playing, and give them the ability to submit results. Now, this display is a little cleaner when you are using mobile. This is designed for mobile use. But for purposes of today, we're going to say that I won my match 2-0. And I confirmed that result. And we come over here and refresh, and we see that I have won my match 2-0. Two things that may be important while you're running your tournament is the ability to edit matchups. If for any reason you need to edit matchups, you can double click on a row, which will break that matchup up. So now we have these players that we need to recategorize. Now, because table 1 was broken, if I double click on any of these players, they will go automatically to table 1. If you need to manually set a table, you can by clicking here. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to give Marshmallow a loss for being late. And we'll save that information. Now, as I've shown, players can submit the results, but if you want to submit results for your players, you can come over to this green tool cog and edit results and submit results for them, and those will display. Once all the results are in, whether you or your players have submitted them, you can come over to round 2 and match the players from there. Once you get to round 5 and you go to the next phase, that will cut all players except for those who qualify for the top 8 and then be able to finalize the tournament through this. Lastly, there will be situations where a player needs additional attention or assistance on dropping or changing their status. To do that, you can click on their name from any tab in here to pull up their player card. A player card allows you to change their status. Let's say this player wanted to be dropped. Or if a player needs a seeding assignment, you can give them a fixed table number. Let's say 8. Now, this player will always go to table 8. And once a round is done, you'll be able to see standings in the standings tab. And that pretty much does it. That is all you will need to do for registration and operations on the Melee platform. Once your tournament is done, there is no reporting, there is no sending information. Just the use of Melee is all you will need to do. If you have any questions leading up or during your events, please reach out to us in our Melee Discord server with a link below, as we have Melee representatives always active and willing to assist you, especially in your urgent situations when these events are running. Have a wonderful day.